If you can control women's dependence on men, you can control women's desire to be with men.
Remove sex from a relationship and 90% of women have nothing to offer.
How does a woman take care of a man?
What do you mean?
Men are finding peace alone and don't really benefit from dating anymore.
No, because I don't think men want to take women out on dates anymore.
What happened to yearning?
When they decide that they don't want you anymore.
What if the biggest shift in modern dating isn't that men can't find relationships, but that more of them are deciding they don't want one? Why are more men saying they're no longer interested in dating or marriage, and why has this trend sparked so much debate online? In today's video, we're breaking down the mindset behind this growing movement, the reactions it's generating, and why so many people are talking about it in 2026. Stay with us until the very end, because the final point might completely change the way you think about modern dating.
I saw this comment saying that men are finding peace alone and don't really benefit from dating anymore. And honestly, some men probably do feel that way. But psychologically, we are not wired to thrive in isolation. Most people want connection, intimacy, and partnership. Now, the problem isn't that relationships don't benefit men. The problem is a lot of people were never taught social skills or emotional awareness that make relationships actually work. So instead of learning those skills, some people just decide it's easier to check out of dating entirely. Luckily, confidence, communication, and social awareness are all learnable skills. That's what we coach guys on inside Muse. We help men understand social cues, communication, and awareness so they can build real connections instead of just guessing their way through dating.
Solitude is peaceful. There's no need to add drama and conflict just to be with someone else. Men of value are choosing to be alone than in bad company. We have come to the realization that today's modern women do not bring benefit to a man's life, and therefore we choose solitude, peace, and conservation of our finances.
What happened to yearning? What happened to men that pursue? What happened to men being confident enough to make the first move? I feel like our generation is just so whacked out. Like we're just all messed up, and I think with the phones, we're just so antisocial and just everything is just out of sorts, and it's not how it used to be. And I think it's a real shame that like the art of dating and like yearning and pursuing is just dead. Like I watch shows like Bridgerton, I'm like, oh my god, we will never have that again. It's just gonna get worse. And it's actually so sad. Especially dating apps have just ruined it all.
Yearn for what? Feminism said we were toxic. I'm confident enough to know I'm worth more than the way I've been treated, so I'll live in peace.
No, because I don't think men want to take women out on dates anymore. Like, I feel like they don't want to take women out on dates. Their idea of, like, a date in some way is, like, saying, hey, like, let's meet at the bar. Let's, like, meet at the bar and, like, just have some drinks, you know, just meet me there. Let's, like, spend some time together. And it's not even a proper date. Like, that's what they will suggest, 100%. Or better yet, if you are on Hinge, I'm so sorry, I'm like all out and about. I just got done working out. But anyways, even on Hinge, you will literally see like men like not want to go on dates with you. Like I have matched with like so many people on Hinge, and the matter of like men, like the amount of men who do not want to pursue anything after like the first two messages is like really crazy. Like there was no effort from them to like, or even any incentive to take you out on a date. It's just like they just want to match just to match, and they're not really there to be intentional. And mind you, am I being like super dead serious on finding somebody on Hinge? Not really. I'm just there to like kind of see like, hey, what's out there, you know, maybe to go on a date or two just to get to know somebody. Like that'd be nice. But the problem is nobody is asking me out. Like nobody's asking anybody out. Like they're like, we're just one to two little sentences and it stops there. It stops. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what's going on, but I do engage with the conversation and it just dies. It's just like nothing. They don't care enough to like take you out. So honestly, I don't think men want to take out women anymore. I don't know what they expect. Well, it's definitely not dates, not romanticizing, or no romance anymore. It's wild out here.
What do we have to gain from going out on a date? Genuinely asking.
Men are no longer desperate for women. They are focusing on their peace, their purpose, their money. And some women are losing their mind because the attention is disappearing. The game has changed. Comment if this speak to you. Share to remind someone. Follow Claudia Funeral Truth. For more truth people are afraid to say.
Real talk, my sister. That is where I am now, focusing on my money and peace. Over 2 years living alone, no regrets, just watching my bank account grow and buy little front when I feel for it.
So there's this girl on TikTok that was talking about how like most guys aren't pursuing girls anymore and how she isn't getting pursued, and when she walks in public she'll walk past guys and they won't really like look up and try and make eye contact with her, all those sorts of things. And the reason for that, starting off on number one, this is a man's perspective to how we think like girls are viewing us, okay? This is not what girls think, okay? All right. So for guys, for number one, guys are usually, like, they actually do get, like, scared or have the fear of being rejected. So with that, like, a guy's not going to want to go up to every single girl on planet Earth and ask them for their number and get rejected by, 95% of them. Number two, most guys are realizing that they're like, okay, well, if I can work on myself, work on my craft, make my money, build who I am as a man, that's fine. That's all I really worry about right now. Guys aren't wanting to chase girls. This is how guys view it. Guys think that girls want to be chased, so a guy's pursuing a girl and the girl is running away. And you're chasing her constantly. A guy is going to want a girl to, allow him to pursue her. So the girl is staying still and the guy pursues her and they stay right there. That's how it is. Number three, most guys think that girls view them as absolute POSs, worst human beings ever to walk the entire planet of Earth. So for most guys, they're like, why am I gonna waste time with girls who think we are complete pieces of shit and don't even want anything to do with us? It's just a waste of time. That's how guys think girls view us. I'm not saying girls view us this way. That's how we view it. And that's probably why guys are not wanting to pursue girls.
Some of us just don't care and have found peace being single. Don't go chasing butterflies. Build a garden so the butterflies come to you. Honestly, if I don't get clear signs or communication, I'm not giving them an ego boost of validation, it'll just building my value in the meantime.
There's a TikTok live going on right now. Why are men acting like they don't want to be in relationships? They don't. Yeah. Gen Z in particular, those in their 20s, they don't want to be in a relationship because they literally do not see the benefit. They would rather play video games, have peace, hang out with their friends, smoke a little flower. That's what they would rather do than get involved with a woman. They're just weighing their options. Let's see, do I want to have a woman or do I want to hang with my friends, play video games, and smoke some flower? That's winning. Overwhelmingly, that's winning. And it's winning across the country. Because when they get these gatherings, hey, let's get together, men and women. Women show up in droves. They show up like crazy because they want relationships. Young men do not. They don't see the benefit. It's really that simple. They don't see the benefit. They don't see how it's going to make their life better. They figure my life's pretty good. I get to play video games, hang out with my friends, smoke a little flower from time to time. I'm cool. I'm happy. And that's a problem for women. And you guys are going to have to figure it out. Because right now, being in a relationship versus video games, friends, and flower, you're losing. And I know some of you don't care, but many of you do. And it's just a simple, would you rather do this or would you rather do that? And right now, they'd rather do this than do this over here with you. I don't know how to solve it, but you're going to have to figure it out. Or you're going to be in fewer and fewer in relationships, and the number of marriages is just going to keep falling and falling and falling. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and follow for more.
I think some young people just don't want drama. For me, after seeing my parent relationships, I'm okay being solo with zero drama. You do need to find the right one. There is a match out there for everybody.
Many women I know have started dating women. 62% of men, right, under 30 not trying to date. What's happening?
And that is men mature later. A boy's prefrontal cortex is 18 months behind a girl. The girl is basically competing against a 10th grade girl. Boys have better gross motor skills. They're faster and stronger. Girls have greater fine motor skills. Their hands, their oral skills, asking questions. Look at the behaviors we promote or encourage in primary school. Sit still, be a pleaser, be organized, raise your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You just described a girl. When you digitize the mating market, people used to meet through friends, through work, and through school. Now they primarily meet online. When you digitize the mating market, you end up in the following environment: 50 men on Tinder, 50 women. 46 of the women will show all of their attention to the same 4 men, which leaves 46 men fighting over 4 women. This discourages men. And unfortunately, they have a very seductive, godlike technology telling them they can have a reasonable facsimile of life online. Why go through the effort of having friends when you have Discord and Reddit? Why put on a tie and try and get a job when you can make money trading crypto or stocks on Robinhood or Coinbase? And why would you go through the effort of looking good, smelling nice, the expense, the resilience, the potential rejection?
Also, men have figured out that relationships just don't offer much positive and a whole lot of negative. People are overcomplicating this. The answer's simple. It's just not worth it. I'll keep living alone in my 2-bedroom flat. Make a modest wage. Pay my bills and enjoy life as I see fit and answer to no one in my own home. Sure, I might feel lonely from time to time, but after years of depression I've finally got a handle on life and grown to love myself. I need only look at the world around me, to the people I know who are in relationships or married, or to random couples in public and see, it just isn't worth it. I can see they are at worst, miserable, and at best, enjoying a brief span of things being tolerable before the burden of the relationship consumes their lives again. Single people are happier. Love is a delusion.
Do you ever notice how quickly men switch up when they decide that they don't want you anymore? Like, you are seeing a completely 180 different side of them. And the one thing about men is that they are very selfish and they will always put their feelings first. For example, a woman will stay in a relationship until she's like, you know what, this isn't working. I have tried everything. But a man will wake up on a random Tuesday and in 5 minutes make a decision that he doesn't want to date you anymore. He doesn't want to be with you anymore. All those years, poof, simply because he didn't like the way that he felt in the moment, and they react on how they feel in that moment versus really thinking it through. My point is, men are very selfish creatures and they will switch up on you when they decide that they don't want you anymore.
No, it's actually the opposite. What make you think he didn't do everything he could?
Remove sex from a relationship and 90% of women have nothing to offer. Remove money and 90% of women will disappear. Honestly, he nailed it. Women today are useless. Ran through, materialistic, and draining your wallet. You'd be better off flying to Thailand and becoming a passport bro because Western women, not worth it. Got your attention? Exactly. I am so tired of seeing posts like this that are strategically phrased to incite anger amongst all of you. I've watched my male following go from excited and eager about dating to completely turned off by it thanks to the toxic, addictive mindset that all women suck. Look, I get it. Some women suck. And I hear your frustrations about the norms we are trying to reverse. But I also know that there are amazing women who want masculine men and share your values. Posts like this are meant to fuel your rage and keep you hooked on an endless dopamine hit of validating your self-pity. I know the game. And if I wanted to, I could grow my following in a heartbeat by playing into it. But I'm not going to. I've watched my following shrink over the past year because I refuse to feed you hopelessness. This response couldn't have said it any better.
Too little too late. We're walking away in droves. We'll keep our money, we'll enjoy our boats and find companionship with our dog. Haven't dated it 8 years because you're right about men and women. The problem is that the bad have overran the good.
How does a woman take care of a man?
What do you mean?
How should a woman take care of a man?
She shouldn't have to.
At all?
No.
Then why should a man date a woman?
What kind of question is that?
Like, what value would you provide to a man?
What? That's a crazy question.
What do you mean?
You shouldn't have to provide some value to a man.
Then what's the point of the relationship?
What value do they provide to us?
Protecting you providing for you.
This is exactly why so many men are just done with dating. Because I have said this before and I will say it again. A man is taught his entire life how to treat a woman. But a woman is taught her entire life how to be treated by a man, not how to treat a man. Ladies, if you want the benefits of a man, you need to put forth some amount of effort. It doesn't even need to be as much effort as him. It just needs to be something, because that is what indicates to a man that you're actually interested in him. And honestly, when one person is carrying all of the load of the relationship, well, how is that fun?
To be fair, when you ask a dumb person a question, you should expect a dumb answer, regardless of gender. This is why Eastern European women are better. They are taught to care about their man's needs.
If you can control women's dependence on men, you can control women's desire to be with men. That is like the foundational issue that all men are mad about, dependence and desire. And it's why all of the socio-political, cultural forces in this country are working together to have the impact of pushing women out of the public sphere and back into the home. Because the politics of desire completely flipped when women started working outside the home, getting education, getting better paid jobs, and just general not needing men for financial security like we used to. Women used to have to be the ones that had to learn to be desirable to men, who had to work so hard to be desirable to men. I'm in my 30s. I can't even tell you how much of my teen and young child years were spent reading magazines that were about how to get boys to like you, how to that's I don't know if that's what little girls are reading these days, but the general aura of desirability now is men, you need to figure out how to be desirable to us, because we have our jobs and we have our education, and if you just have a paycheck, that's not enough anymore. I also have a paycheck. The politics of desirability have completely flipped, where we're the ones now telling men no, actually, this is what I want in a husband. And I know you're used to just being qualified to have a wife by having a job, but I have a job too. And so here I want you to be emotionally available and emotionally competent and a good partner and all these things that men did not used to have to worry about to be desirable to women. The politics of desirability have completely changed, and that underlies so much of men's anger. I guess this is it. I've been wanting to do a series on what men are mad about, because I make a lot of content like this, which attracts men in my comments that are very mad. So I've learned. I really do read the comments. I block a lot of them, but I learn what they're mad about. And 8 times out of the 10, the mean, mad comments, DMs, death threats, you can go back, you just peel it back, peel it back, peel it back, peel it back. It's about the flipped politics of desirability, which is because women no longer depend on men, which is why everything is happening in the world.
Because women don't desire men the way that men desire women, men just didn't know that. Now they do. Even financially independent women are out here chasing boys and fighting the other girls. I understand your theory, but in all actuality, it doesn't seem like that part has really changed.
So as somebody that primarily dates wealthier men, these hacks for girls to get wealthy men is always so funny to me, because it's not reality. It doesn't fucking work that way. They tell you to, speak a certain way, act a certain way, show up to these places a certain way, which can work, right? You can end up with a person that falls for that. And then if you're a self-aware individual who's working on becoming the best version of yourself, you're going to end up in a position where you're pretending to be somebody you're not. And that internally doesn't feel good. Whereas you can still attract a wealthy man if that's what you want, by just being your damn self and by working on yourself or building something for yourself. My hack to getting wealthier men is just be yourself and work on yourself and be ambitious about your life, and that's going to attract ambitious men. If you want to date a man of a certain caliber, then you have to be a woman of that caliber. And I don't just mean financially. I mean the trade-off has to be equal, right? Because everything in this life is give and take. So if you want to date a multimillionaire that's going to retire you and put you in a multi-million-dollar home where your kids go to private school, that man is going to come home after a long day of being an attorney, and you're going to talk to him, he's going to have nothing to fucking relate to you about, because you're not of that caliber. So the best way to attract a man of that caliber is to be ambitious, Because a man that's just as ambitious is going to want to attract a woman that's just as ambitious. He's going to want to retire a woman that's ambitious. Or you can be somebody in his life that gives him something that he doesn't have. Maybe he's like, somebody that requires somebody that's like more joyful and kind, and that's not something that he's ever had in his life. Again, that's why it's important to just be yourself. Be yourself, and the right man that's looking for you is going to find you. And if you're ambitious and yourself, you're definitely going to attract a man that's ambitious and looking for you. So stop trying to be somebody you're not. You have to allow it to happen organically. Otherwise, the jig is going to be up and they're going to know.
Well, I think each partner has something they do that the other doesn't understand fully. If you care about each other, even if you have no idea what they're talking about, you're still going to be eager to listen and engage in discourse.
Here's one for you. A woman can literally sleep with pretty much any man that she wants, whenever she wants. That part is easy. Options are abundant for her. But a man, he only sleeps with whoever allows him in. He has to earn the access. He has to bring value, prove himself, and stand out and be different. That's the first half of the game. But when it's time to actually commit and settle down, maybe for just a real relationship or a marriage, the entire power dynamic flips. Suddenly, it's the men who choose. Women wait to be chosen. That's the reality that nobody really likes to admit. Sex is abundant for women. Commitment is scarce. Commitment is abundant for men who have built real, undeniable value, and women will compete for that man. Different leverage, different timelines, completely different games for each side. You can ignore it. You can deny it too. You can cope and say, oh my gosh, that is toxic, or that's outdated. But the rules don't change just because the truth makes you uncomfortable. So here's the choice. You can either keep pretending it's all equal and wonder why you're frustrated all the time, or you can finally understand the game for what it actually is and decide whether you're going to master it or keep getting played by it. This is the polarity I always talk about to its core. Listen to this deeply, let it sink in, because once you see it and hear it, you can't unsee it and unhear it.
This is one of the most honest and accurate summary that I have learned about relationships. Bravo. Kevin Samuels said, women control access to sex, but men control access to relationships. Truly true.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest